Hello YouTube! Welcome to part 3 of our Swift series. In this video you get to know the floating point numbers, float and double. The distinction between float and double is the precision of decimal places. Double has much more precision of decimal places than float, but the idea of both is the same. I'll give you some examples of floating numbers. 1.4 or 3.2 or minus 0.45. These are all floating numbers. Let's create a variable with a floating number. Variable num1 equals 2.54. Maybe you wonder, okay, is this a float or is this a double? If you press the Alt key on your keyboard and you move your mouse on the name of the variable, then you make a mouse click, you see that this is a double. Swift creates every time a double when you have a floating number. If you explicitly want a float, then you have to write this with a type notation. What type notations are, I will explain you in another video. Okay, then I create another variable called num2. I equals, I don't know, let's say 4.9. Okay, I will check the second variable with the Alt key on my keyboard, and then I go here, make a mouse click, and you see this is a double as well. Again, if you want a float, you have to write with a type notation. The type notation is something like this here. Float. And you see this is a float. But this we will learn in another lesson, not in this one. As we learned in the video before with integers, you can do the same mathematical arithmetics with addition, multiplication, division and subtraction. Okay, let's create another variable, result1, and we do the addition of num2 plus num1 plus num2, yeah, and let's print it out. Result 1. I run the code and you see the result 7.44, and here in the output area 7.44. We can do all the mathematical arithmetics with minus or with the division. Okay, let's try the division, and the result is a double as well. Let's check it. You see this is a double. Okay, but watch out. Let's say you have a variable, and the variable, I call it my integer, and this is not a double, or this is not a float, this is a integer. Let's say this is 10 or 12. Let's check it. Okay, this is a integer. In Swift you can't mix a double and the integer, or a double and a float, or a float and the integer. This is not allowed. Let's try and see what happened. I take the double num1 and I try to add my integer. You see, you have here an error. You can't mix different types in Swift. This is not allowed. Let's say we have two different integer variables. My integer 1 is 10 and my second integer is my integer 2, and this is a 3. With the integers, you see this is an integer, and this is an integer as well. With integers, you can do the addition, subtraction, and the multiplication, but division is not, I mean you can do that, but the result is not what you expect. Let's try. We print my integer 1 divide my integer 2, and when we run the app, oh, I have to delete this. And when we run the code, you see 3, but this is not the correctly result in the mathematical meaning. So now you understand why you have more Swift types. Integer is not enough. To get the correct result, we make from the integers with dot 0 to double values. You see, this is a double now, this is a double now, and when we run the code, we get the correctly result. You see 3.333. This is the real mathematical result. Thank you for watching this video about floating numbers, float and double. I hope to see you in the next video. A thumb like from you would be great, and I'm every time very grateful for your PayPal donation. See you in the next video. Bye.